Part 4. Okay. So, we have the same sprites as before. We have the same objects, but don't be fooled, things have changed. We now have 2 rooms. Room 1 is basically just another level. Now you're going to ask yourself, wait, but how do we get from room 0 to room 1? Ha! I'll show you. Okay. So object 0, which has been kind of our main frame where everything happens, we have added a lot of new actions to the collision event for those crowns. A lot of stuff happens now. Basically, I'd like to really quick review again how I'm finding all these actions. There's a bunch of tabs here. As you can see down here, there's a move tab, main 1, main 2, control, score, and draw. You'll have to explore it yourself, but basically you can kind of assume that certain kinds of things are going to be in each one. So the drawing event makes a new character, among other things. The move actions make you move in different ways. So this is where I'm finding all these actions in this list. So the first action is that when you hit a crown, the score goes up by 1. Simple. Then that crown disappears. But then, here's another thing. If the number of instances, so basically the number of crowns that you put on a level, if is a really interesting thing. Basically, we have programmed a choice into the program. The program is going to be constantly checking all the time to see if all the crowns are missing. If the number of crowns, then start block. This little arrow here is a block notifier. Basically, you're putting a little chunk of commands that only happen under certain circumstances. So within this larger block, you say, basically, for the if the number of instances action, we put object 3 to assign the instance, and then we put if the number equals 0, equal to. So if the number of crowns, object 3, is equal to 0. So, everything that happens here only happens if there are no more crowns in the room. Once there are no more crowns in the room, the game checks first if the next room exists. If it does, it takes you to the next room. If you're on the last room, meaning there are no next rooms, there's another little block that you create with a start block notation and an end block notation. It displays a message. Very simply, you just get to write in what you want to pop up. We have our game tell you that you are the Game King, if in fact you beat our game. Because you should, Game King beats games, so you're basically a lot like Game King if you beat this game. And then the game ends. Well, you can see there's a very convenient little action that you can just put in there to make the game end whenever you want. Only if there are no more crowns and there is not another room, because of the else action. Else meaning that if this is not true, let this occur. Okay? So as you can see, we're getting into some complex programming, but luckily there's just all these really neat little actions that make it just really simple to execute. So let's show you how that works. Okay, so as you can see, we have our crowns, we have Game King moving around like so. It's not really a challenging game yet because there's not really any enemies. Wink, there will be. And as you can see, the score is increasing one by one with each crown that we retrieve. And surprise, surprise, when we get to the last crown, we have a neat little fading effect. And look, a new room. Dark blue is my favorite color. Lime green is Game King's favorite color. That's why the last level was lime green. So then what happens? Game King's cruising along, collecting crowns, being kingly all like and whatnot. And he gets to the last crown, and you are the Game King. See, what we have is we just lost control. We have a little message with a button on it that's telling us something, and I click OK, and then the game end action happened. That all happened because of all those individual events with circumstances such as else that we put just on the crown object. So as you can see, you can get really into some pretty cool stuff here.